Hey, it's Kyle Madsen with your top stories on Sports 1140. The Sacramento Kings fell to 1-3 on their 6-game road trip with a 120-105 loss last night to the Raptors in Toronto. De'Aaron Fox, Nemanja Bjelica, and Iman Shumpert all sat for the Kings. Marvin Bagley got the start, and he's very good. 22 points, 11 boards, and 2 blocks. Sacramento gets a couple days off now. They will be in Memphis for a Friday night matchup with the Grizzlies. The 2019 class for the Baseball Hall of Fame was announced yesterday. Yankees closer Mariano Rivera became the first ever unanimous selection. He'll be joined by Edgar Martinez, Mike Mussina, and the late Roy Halladay. It's 8:03. Time to get your tickets for the 7th annual Sacramento Sports Hall of Fame induction celebration, Saturday, January 26th at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Go to sacsportshof.com. Those are your top stories, and now it's back to the drive on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Yes, indeed. It is the drive here, but it's hosted by The Lowdown. I'm Damien Barling, along with the best there is, the best there was, and the best that there ever will be, Jason Herbert Walker-Ross. We are happy to be joined with Kyle Madsen today here on the drive. Carmichael Dave will be with you, back with you on Monday at 6 a.m. If you miss him, just go to Twitter. He's there.
Oh, I heard he might be making an appearance in a roundabout way later this hour.
He will.
It's pretty good stuff.
There was some heavy research done into Carmichael Dave's Twitter behavior over the course of the last couple of days. So we'll have that cold, hard fact for you coming up in about 30 minutes. In about 36 minutes. We want to be precise here. Coming up in 36 minutes, we'll have your first keyword of the day. That is your opportunity to score the big game dream party presented by Mel Rapton Honda that is going on not this weekend, next weekend. Your chance to win a 65-inch TV, $2,500 in Lazy Boy Furniture, and a $500 gift card to Sprouts Farmers Market. That keyword coming up for the big game dream party at 8:40. That is just 36-ish minutes away. Make sure you are here with us. I want to get back to this Mariano Rivera conversation. It's been a really fun debate here on social media. It's been a fun debate on the Jiffy Lube text line here at 441140. It's been a fun debate just here in the studio. We got Fair or Foul coming up here at the bottom of the hour as well. But first, gentlemen, the G-Man.
Here's a touch pass to Farrell from Heel. Yogi Ferrell delivers the triple, and Sacramento suddenly with a 5-point lead, their biggest of the ball game. They've done it on a 9-0 run. They lead 27-22. We're going to make that your Peckus Brothers moment of the game.
Hey, thanks so much, G-Man. That was your Peckus Brothers moment of the game. Get the spectacular backyard you've always wanted with a beautiful Peckus Brothers patio or sunroom. Get the best prices, the best value, guaranteed every day. What is that? It's the Peckus Brothers.
Sadly, the Kings lose 120-105 yesterday. You and Kyle both wanted to stress that the Sacramento Kings felt like they were competitive there for a while. I'd like to point out that the Kings were up 34-29. They lost every quarter after that. There's no moral victories coming out of yesterday's game. Like the fact that they didn't get blown out by the Toronto Raptors, who were playing out without Kawhi Leonard, to me, there's nothing to take away from that. There's one takeaway from yesterday's game, in my opinion, regarding the Sacramento Kings, and it's very simple. Marvin Bagley played 37 minutes. He had 22 points, 11 rebounds. Nemanja Bjelica didn't play. De'Aaron Fox didn't play. Iman Shumpert didn't play. But Marvin Bagley is your starter moving forward. That should be the case. That's not news. That's an opinion. My opinion is Marvin Bagley should be the starter moving forward for the Sacramento Kings.
I would co-sign. I have no problem with that. I honestly had no problem with him coming off the bench either, but I want the minutes are important to me. If he starts, I really think that's the area he's going to land. That's where he's going to be. He is a future starter, whether that's now or very, very soon. Watching him more and more, he's got so much. There's so many gifts, but he can get a lot better, and I think that's what's encouraging. Henry brought up some great things in our postgame yesterday. Like I've always said, I know he's going to get the three-point shot. I think he took 2 yesterday, missed them both, and I think he's missed quite a few lately. I'm more than confident that's something that's going to be in his game, but he felt what he needs even more so if he's going to be considered a 3 at all or even a 4, the ability to, usually when he catches the ball, his first instinct is to turn his back and back you down. He's going to have to be one-on-one with a guy, square him up, and be able to drive. Right, left, whatever, either way, but to take a guy off the dribble, to really be to have the wing abilities. Post, down low, rebounds, putbacks. He's got all of that. He's got more growing to do, but I think he's going to do it. Works hard, seems to be a good guy. I think the future is incredibly bright for him.
Yeah, the flashes are all there. I feel like when you watch Marvin Bagley, there are 2 to 4 moments a game that you just go, whoa, like that was something only a handful of players can do. Like Jason said, he's obviously got a ton of improving to do. He's not going to be an all-star this year, but the flashes are there, and I think that's really what you wanted to see from him, and I think we'll see more of them as he gets more minutes and gets into that starting lineup.
And I think it's impossible to know when's the next like we already see the skill set. Like we saw it last year with De'Aaron. De'Aaron made a considerable jump into year 2, and sometimes it takes guys 3 or 4 years. I don't think it's going to take that long.
What De'Aaron did is abnormal.
Yeah.
He took a massive jump from year 1 to year 2. That's not normal.
Right. And so
not to the degree in which he did, I should say.
And I think Marvin has the ability to, but sometimes because De'Aaron's biggest obstacle is, can he shoot? Well, he can. Like that's gotten so much better, where I know lately he hasn't shot the ball well, but it was literally a concern. Like, people are just going to go under screens. He can't shoot jump shots. Doesn't even look willing to. No, he's a more than capable shooter. But as Marvin rounds out his game, I mean, to already be where he is now, and again, kind of back to our minutes conversation earlier, Luka's the rookie of the year. But if Marvin from day one was the starter and asked to play, let's give him 30 minutes, it would be a race. Mm-hmm. It's not now. Luka's going to get it. That's fine. What does it matter? Kings fans, I know that's this big discussion, but Marvin is going to be really, really good.
Let's look at the 2 records at the end of the year. If the 2 records are close between Dallas and Sacramento, you could be frustrated. Mm-hmm. If they're not, and I'm starting to lean towards them not being close at the end of the year, don't be frustrated.
I also wouldn't be surprised. So let's go on your premise, too, that Marvin, from here on out, starts. Mm-hmm. And now the minutes are probably going to be pretty good. I think Luka gets it, but people are like, wow, you see what, like, people will start mentioning Marvin. Maybe he gets a Rookie of the Month award, something like that. It's probably going to be too late, but I think he'll start to get some talk.
I think by the end of the year, the gap between the 2 of those players, Luka and Marvin Bagley, nationally is going to close considerably.
Isn't it funny we're not talking about DeAndre Ayton at all?
Well, he's always for Phoenix. When they get to 15 wins, we can talk about DeAndre Ayton.
Yeah, but I think soon Dallas is going to be in that neighborhood.
Yeah, like let's calm down here. Let's not start talking about the Sacramento Kings like they're reigning defending champions or something like that.
DeAndre Ayton's incredible.
Like these 2 teams were in, but is it like he is? But is he playing like it?
Yeah, what has he done?
He's
for people
had
to notice?
like he's had games where if you didn't watch, you didn't know because of what you just said. It's Phoenix. Like people are paying attention to Devin Booker. If you're DeAndre Ayton, you have to do something really incredible to get people's attention. He's had you'll watch him sometimes go, oh man, he's really, really good. And then you watch him sometimes and goes, is he there? What was he doing? I think one of the games where he was really bad was against the Sacramento Kings. Not that Phoenix game, but one earlier this year. Like he was awful.
Well, he had to deal with Marvin Bagley.
Obviously, in the juggernaut that is Willie Cauley-Stein's defense. I'm not into following players' parents on social media.
Yeah.
Apparently, this is a trend with Marvin Bagley. I'm not familiar. I know that Bagley's dad keeps coming up in conversations. We got a bunch of tweets asking about him last night. That's just, I'm not into that.
Yeah.
We didn't do the LeVar Ball gimmick. We're not going to do, the Mr. Bagley gimmick. Like that's just not going to be our thing. But what am I missing something there?
I'm with you on that. No, I mean we're probably missing that we're not following him constantly. But okay.
So just know that moving forward, if you're tweeting or texting us about Bagley's dad, we'll take a hard pass on that and just focus on Bagley the third.
Well, and even we got a few texts yesterday. What did you think? What was the impression of Bagley's picture of him and Coach K? And again, now that's the player, but now we're trying to interpret things. That is there a message? Maybe there was. Maybe there's absolutely nothing. Maybe that's love for Coach K. Maybe it's a huge issue with Yeager. I have no idea.
The interactions on that post, because we took the picture, we took the Instagram post from Marvin Bagley and put it on the Lowdown page on Facebook and just, hey, what are your thoughts on this?
Right.
Big deal? No deal? Little deal? Like, what are your feelings on this? They were everywhere. Like, all over the place because, as you just noted, it was interpretation, and everybody interpreted what Marvin Bagley meant by that tribute, I guess, that Instagram post to Coach K differently.
Yeah.
And the amount of interactions that got on our Facebook page were amazing. I thought it was amazing. I was looking at this like, wow, this has really got some people in their feelings right now.
Yes.
One way or the other, because some people were like, this is nothing. This is stupid. Stop talking about it. To others like, yeah, this, it's the beginning of the end. Oh, this is bad. And then we got, Dave Yeager's going to be fired at the end of the year. And he was like, wow, we're all over the place here.
If Marvin Bagley was getting like 8 minutes a game, I would read into that, but I don't know. I can't think of a scenario why he would post that randomly when he's inching towards starting. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
I didn't read into the Marvin Bagley post at all.
I didn't either.
Yeah. Like that was him shouting out his college coach.
We don't. Yeah.
His Duke's basketball team is good.
We took that more of a let's just get a reaction from our audience and see what they think about it, because we had already seen what a number of Kings fans had thought about it. We're going to go to the phone lines right now. The Fire Wings hotline. Try one of the delicious 21 flavors of wings today. Fire Wings, just wing it. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Remember that first keyword coming up at 8:40. Your chance to score the big game dream party presented by Mel Rapton Honda. Right now, we've got the Country Mega Ticket. Toyota Amphitheater. Shows include Brad Paisley, Rascal Flatts, Luke Bryan, Dierks Bentley, Florida Georgia Line. We've got those tickets for you right now. 339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Let's go to Alex. Alex, great to hear from you, my man.
Good morning, guys.
Morning.
Hi, Jason.
Hi.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I haven't heard your voice in a while. I miss it.
It's here every day.
Just got weird.
Yeah.
It's adorable.
It's kind of normal.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. Anyways, so the NBA trade deadline for 2019 is February 7th, and we're coming around 2 weeks. Obviously, you know, the Kings, I really don't think they're going to make the playoffs, and I don't think they're going to mortgage anything to make that happen. And you look at their upcoming free agents, a restricted free agent is Willie Cauley-Stein. If the Kings don't plan on matching an offer sheet to him or making him an offer, wouldn't it make the most sense to deal him now? And do you see that happening?
First, Alex, isn't Willie unrestricted?
Yes.
Okay, so Willie's there's no matching.
No,
Because
I think he is restricted.
Oh.
But
I thought when you – okay.
I think you know what? I don't want to misspeak.
Because when you
that.
opt into if you have the team option for the last year, doesn't that remove the unrestricted? I don't know. We'll look into that right now.
But
Sorry.
I guess either way, whichever part of that is, I know what he's saying, what Alex is suggesting.
Right.
But I'm team. Let me pick a team. Dallas. Dallas is interested, just for sake of argument. Why don't I just wait? Why am I going to give you something for the last 25 games of the year when I can sign him in a few weeks or in a few months?
Yeah.
So I know the thought is, hey, if you're not keeping Willie, get something for him. I don't know that he's as coveted.
Yeah, who's knocking down the door and who's giving you something in return that you want so badly?
And I think Willie will be. I think when he's in the open market, I mean, again, now we go back to just stats and people see a player, but we all see, when we see every game, we see the flaws. That's what a lot of people, Willie doesn't block shots. Willie doesn't rebound consistently enough, misses too many layups. Okay. Now you go on a broad scope and you see a 25-year-old big man that can run the floor, pretty active, and I think his averages now this year something around 15 and 8. That's a guy that's going to get paid well in free agency. So again, pick your team. If they're interested in Willie Cauley-Stein, I don't know that they're that urgent to add him for the rest of this year, as opposed to, we'll be interested, but when he becomes a free agent.
If I'm understanding this correctly, he is a restricted free agent next year. That's so weird. I thought if you opt into the 5th year, if you're the team and you opt into the 5th year, that makes them unrestricted the next year. But I think that bodes well for the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah,
because I don't know. I don't know who's going to with money, because this isn't the summer of 2 years ago and 3. Like you're not going to see.
This is not last year either. There's more money this summer. But there's also some really big names.
That's what I was going to say.
Big class.
That money's not going to players like Willie Cauley-Stein.
He's the second tier, or whatever tier he becomes. Maybe it's third. I don't know the breakdown. But it's going to Kawhi. It's going to Kevin Durant. It's going to a few names like that. Yeah. DeMarcus Cousins, maybe.
Right.
But Willie will be, I mean, again.
He's going to get compensated.
For everybody that thinks, he can't do this, he is getting paid.
Be careful what you wish for,
right.
By the way. Also, if you're an anti-Willie Cauley-Stein guy, remember, find another player at his position who will fit better with your franchise player.
Mm-hmm.
So look around the league, look around realistic acquisitions that you want to replace Willie Cauley-Stein, and maybe you believe that that's Harry Giles or Marvin Bagley, and that's fine too.
Right.
Find an acquisition that you think is better at running the floor with your point guard in your franchise than Willie Cauley-Stein is.
Yeah,
it's extremely hard to find. But I think we're seeing more and more that you can find those guys in free agency in the draft, and I think Willie's going to get paid pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think the Kings foresee him as a starter down the road. I think they want Giles and Bagley to be the two guys in the middle. And do you want to pay top dollar for a rotational big? I think you can find another player who can put those minutes in.
But I think that's where the conversation about Willie Cauley-Stein truly begins, is we go from his 6.7 or whatever it is right now to top dollar. We haven't found, okay, we know what Willie wants. We know what the team is paying him right now, but what is Willie's worth going to be across the league?
Yeah.
Is somebody going to offer him that, I guess for him it would be like 20? Like, is somebody going to offer him the 20 a year for 4 years? Or are we comfortable, is the Sacramento Kings fan base comfortable with 15?
Right.
16? Or is it just the $20 million for 4 years that scares you? Or if I said, hey, it's $20 million for 2 years, or it's 15 for the next 4, and it escalates up. Like, are you more comfortable with that?
Yeah.
What are we talking about here that seems to make Sacramento Kings fans so uncomfortable for a guy who, would you have it at 15-9 a moment ago?
Something roughly
around
in that
there?
range, yeah. And again, we all play armchair GM, right? If it were me and he would accept it, I would think about a shorter deal at probably a really good rate. You know, let's say it's 15
at the 20,
somewhere in there,
okay.
and say, at 2 years, that's kind of like, to Kyle's point, that's when Bagley and Giles won't be up, but you'll have much more answers on those guys. And then now all of a sudden, we're paying him kind of a lot of money. He's a backup, but we have him for 2 years. He's 25, 26 now. And then we move on from him. But I could also see Willie getting a 4-year, $80 million from Orlando. He's like, no, I want 4 and 80. I'm gone. Well, then he goes.
That's what I'm going off of, because I think some teams are going to have some space this offseason, and I'm super foreseeing a team taking a big swing on Willie and going, we're the team that can make him a 20-10 guy.
Right.
I'm totally envisioning that happening.
But are you, so are we sticking with Orlando as the example? Like, we're the team that can make him a 20-10 guy, and we're finishing, 30-52? Is that how we're building teams now? Because what team makes
bad teams stay bad?
Like, I mean, you put him on Indiana. Is he a 20-10 guy? And I'm thinking about a really good team with a really good coach that's going to be, finished towards the top of the Eastern Conference. Is that where Willie is a 20-10 guy? Yeah. Because does Willie want to play in it? Does Willie just want to go away, make money and go away? $20 million, 4 years, give me my 80, send me to Orlando, and leave me all of the Fs alone.
And maybe he does.
That's the vibe I've gotten.
Yeah. Mm. And so would you? Again, now I could hear people going, that's a crazy comparison, but is he similar to Clint Capella? Now, because a ton of people may say Clint Capella is way better, whatever. But am I in the right range with him?
Yes, and I don't think it's outrageous because you have Clint Capella and the Chris Paul factor.
Right.
Willie Cauley-Stein, you have the De'Aaron Fox factor.
So Capella just, he's wrapping up the one. He's going to get 16, 8 next year, 18 after that, 19, and then 20. So
fine with that. I'm fine paying Willie Cauley-Stein that money.
Yeah.
I think I would be too.
16, 17,
but
18.
But not over that many years, or I would prefer the shorter term.
I just don't think that's realistic, though.
It may not be. And you may lose
I'm fine paying Willie 4 years, teens, ending at 20.
Yeah.
Totally fine with that.
And if you don't, I don't think it can just be as simple as Willie walks, gets his money wherever it is. We got Bagley and Giles. We're good. There needs to be another. Costa's likely gone. Zach Randolph, I'm sure, is. And if you lose Willie, I don't know if Scal's a part of the future at all. You need some more. Coach Yeager already complains about how they're kind of shorter and, for lack of a better term, weaker, but not as strong as other teams. And not that Willie's this massive, physical specimen, but he is tall, he's long. You need some other help in the front court.
Harry Giles, Marvin Bagley, Willie Cauley-Stein. That is the front court that the Sacramento Kings have. I don't think Willie's going to be traded. To go back to the crux of the conversation, to go back to Alex's original question, do we think Willie Cauley-Stein will be traded? Do we think that the Sacramento Kings will pursue a trade for Willie Cauley-Stein? The answer across all front, I think, is no. Willie's a starter, and he's a 30-ish minute per game starter. Mm-hmm. They're going to continue to run him. Willie Cauley-Stein, like it or not, is a reason that the Sacramento Kings are where they are. Now, they're 24-24 now, which isn't as sexy as where they were a few days ago, but their projected win total by most people was in the range of the win total that they're at right now.
That was my number.
ESPN had them at 25. Jason had them at 24, and we still have quite a bit of the season to go.
Glad I'm wrong on that one.
The Big Game Dream Party presented by Mel Rapton Honda. Each and every single day, 3 times per day, we give you 3 keywords. Your first keyword is coming up at 8:40. Look at your clock right now. That is just about 17 minutes from now. We're going to step out. We'll come back. We will have that keyword for you. Also, fair or foul. Coming up next, head over to KHTK.com. Watch the show live on your computer next.
This is Kyle Madsen with your top stories on Sports 1140. The Sacramento Kings continue to stumble on their road trip last night with a 120-105 loss in Toronto. De'Aaron Fox, Nemanja Bjelica, and Iman Shumpert all sat out for the Kings. Marvin Bagley, he got his first career start, and he's pretty good. 22 points, 11 boards, and a pair of blocks. Sacramento gets a couple days off now. They'll be in Memphis for a Friday night matchup with the Grizzlies. The 2019 class for the Baseball Hall of Fame was announced yesterday. Former Yankees closer Mariano Rivera became the first ever unanimous selection. He'll be joined by Edgar Martinez, Mike Mussina, and the late Roy Halladay. It is 8:31. Time to get your tickets for the 7th annual Sacramento Sports Hall of Fame induction celebration, Saturday, January 26th at Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Go to SacSportsHOF.com. Those are your top stories. Now back to the drive on Sports 1140 KHTK.
Time for the Coors Light Cold Hard Fact of the Day. Here's Kyle Madsen.
Today's Coors Light Cold Hard Fact has to do with our boy, Carmichael Damien, your boy.
It's not, no.
I want to shout out to Pat and Tom and Cody over at our sister station at KNCR.
Other Cody, by the way. There's
the
two
other
Codys.
Cody.
Other Cody.
The other Cody. They did this research this morning. Carmichael Dave, at Carmichael Dave on Twitter. He's been on vacation for about 4 days. Tweets since being on vacation. There's been 2 more this morning, so we redid the math. He's at 179 tweets.
Wow. That's
since being
impressive.
on vacation a little over 4 days ago.
Do we have the per-day statistics for that?
44.8 per day.
That's amazing. Turn the music up. We need this a little louder.
You're not gonna do it again.
Oh,
You're not gonna do it. You're not gonna do it to us again.
I can go twice in a day.
Hello.
Chris, if you're listening,
Hey
that's
now.
for you, buddy. That's for you. Bring that up a little bit here. As we look back to see how long ago 170, how many was it?
179.
179
texts were. We're going to let you know exactly when that was. But first, Metallica's got to bring us in here.
He gone. He doesn't want the crown. That's not going to last on there.
It's not. It's not.
That's a funny visual, though. You're welcome. All right.
My tweet, 170. I keep forgetting the numbers.
Yeah.
Why are you ignoring me?
I'm not.
How many tweets was it? Kyle.
179.
Kyle. How many tweets ago was it? 100 and what?
79.
Is Jason Instagramming right now?
Oh, I don't even know what I'm doing.
My tweet from 179 tweets ago was September 23rd, 2018.
Okay.
Dave's was Monday.
Yeah.
Mine was September 23rd, 2018. Dak Prescott has thrown for under 200 yards 9 of the last 11 games. That was my tweet 170 some odd tweets ago.
Okay, for me, June 22nd, 2018. Joining us next, we talk about the Kings' top draft pick, Marvin Bagley, with his former assistant coach at Duke and current head coach at Pitt, at Jeff Capel. And you can listen here at Sports 1140 KHTK.
Nice. Great lead-in to the fact that Duke played Jeff Capel last night, and Zion Williamson hit his first 10 shots. He scored 25 points. Jay-Z was in the audience for that one. Williamson was 9 of 9 in the first half, as we mentioned. He hit his first 10. He was 11 of 13 on the game. This dude is the truth. I love watching Zion Williamson. I can't wait for next season.
So the follow-up, though, is do we not tweet enough, or does Dave tweet too much?
Do you guys want to know when my 179th tweet was?
Ooh,
I don't think it was.
I don't think recent.
I think it was recently.
It was. So I moved it back a couple from 177. January 14th of this year.
Okay.
So like 8 days ago. Mm-hmm. It says "son of a," with Donald Trump standing next to all of his burgers with the Hamburglar face on him.
That's great. I take that. That was after the great White House feast.
Yes,
that
correct.
went on
For the Clemson football team.
For the Clemson Tigers. We welcome in Cody Baylor here to the lowdown on the drive. Remember, we've got your keyword coming up in just about 5 minutes, so stay with us. The Big Game Dream Party presented by Mel Rapton Honda. Also a chance to get $100 in Harris Ranch gift certificate for $100. That again, 5 minutes or so. We got fair or foul. Cody, we want to get your thoughts on Mariano Rivera in the Hall of Fame and some of the questions that I had alluded to, a conversation that took place over our group text as we used to prepare for the show, and how it went south very, very quickly. But we'll get to that. Cody, let's start with fair or foul. What's up first?
All right, the first one, Mariano Rivera's unanimous Hall of Fame induction will mark the beginning of change for the Baseball Hall of Fame. Fair or foul?
I want to believe that it's fair. I want to believe that change is coming to the Baseball Hall of Fame because baseball has been so antiquated for so long, both on the field and off the field. I want to believe that Mariano Rivera's 100% unanimous induction is the beginning of the end of the nonsense that surrounds the Baseball Hall of Fame. I believe, I think they're wrong, but there are going to be arguments for Derek Jeter not being in. I think he's a 100% voter as well. We'll find out next year whether the past is truly behind us or if Mariano Rivera is just so universally loved that they felt like, okay, this is our guy. He's the one who's going to get it.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say it's fair, but I feel like it's subtle change. Like regarding the unanimous, this was a big deal to some people. It's never happened.
Yeah.
How could it not happen for? And we listed people before. Well, Ken Griffey Jr. really close. Didn't happen. Well, now Mariano Rivera has. So someone had to be first. It's him. It's not his fault that he's first. I think what's helped is the shaming of letting people know who everybody's ballot is. So if you were the one, all right, well, you're going to have to stand up to it. You have to wear it. You have to hear the criticism. So I think we'll have more unanimous choices in the future, but the totality of changing the way there's still jokes everywhere with that Hall of Fame, and it's not perfect by any means at all.
Yeah, I agree that we'll have more unanimous votes, but I think we'll continue to see people not get in unanimously because of the use of advanced stats and things of that nature. That you're going to have your 4 or 5 people that are like, well, actually, the advanced stats said that this guy was not a Hall of Famer, so that's why I didn't vote for him, and they're going to get on a pedestal. So
does true change start when Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens get in?
Yeah, and Pete Rose.
Well, that's different. Like Pete Rose, those are so different.
But yeah, Bonds and Clemens will be, I think, kind of the watershed moment. Finally.
Pete Rose is this mandate that has nothing to do. It's a mandate from commissioner to commissioner, and it's lame and it's dumb, and we all know what's going to happen. Pete Rose is going to get in after he's dead. That's 100% what's going to happen.
Did you guys see Bond's percentage this year?
It's a little higher, right?
It was 59.1%.
Yeah.
Which was only a small jump from last year, right?
Yeah, you need 75% of the vote.
Yeah.
And even 75 seems like a weird number. Like, what is that?
It's
3/4?
C. Like, that's literally a C. Like,
do you think it's going to grow over the next?
Which is also, to me, is part of the problem. So as it gets, it's his final year, Now someone who had said no. Now
there's 3
you penalized
years.
him?
There's 3 years left. They have 3 more chances to get in. I think people thought it was going to get higher than the 59% that you just mentioned this year, and it didn't.
Right.
Next year, I think will be the true tale, because if they do this 10-year thing, it's Jason and I have said this earlier. Barry Bonds is the greatest baseball player either one of us has ever seen.
Right.
Kyle, I don't know if you're in on that. He's the greatest baseball player I ever saw.
And I have my beef with Barry Bonds, but come on, he is.
If Barry Bonds was a cheater, but he was nice, maybe he'd be in the Hall of Fame.
I think that is Craig
Media
Biggio
hated him.
Craig Biggio's in the Hall of Fame. Go look at Craig Biggio.
Yeah,
that was
really nice guys get into the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yes. Correct.
Cody, what do we got?
All right, next one. CBS rejected a pro-medical marijuana ad for the Super Bowl. Fair or foul?
I mean, this one is a weird one to me because I guess it's their choice, right? They're right. I think marijuana in general it's all anybody's own opinion. I think it's weird that they would turn down money, right? Obviously, this is anybody's going to be paying to get an ad into the Super Bowl, but it's CBS's choice. I just think that the perception of that needs to be changed maybe nationally, and I don't think we're there yet.
CBS rejected the ad because, quote, under current CBS broadcast standards, it does not currently accept cannabis-related advertising. That's interesting because you're going to be inundated with alcohol-related advertising.
But it's
universally legal.
Yeah, universal.
Federally legal. It's federal law that's legal, I think is the right word. But
it's federally legal marijuana.
And if I'm not mistaken, this was medicinal cannabis. This wasn't recreational cannabis either. Is there a difference anymore? Or because of the legalization across multiple states, is medicinal versus recreational not even a conversation anymore because of legal versus does it not matter?
I don't think it matters to people who are going to reject an ad like that.
If those are CBS's standards, I guess it's fair. I think it's silly. Like in practice, I think it's foul. If they just don't accept cannabis-related advertising, as that quote read, then I guess it's fair. It just seems really, really silly.
Yeah, I know it's not legal in every state, but I don't know if they'll take like DraftKings or FanDuel ads. I mean, that's not legal everywhere.
Yeah.
Sure, they'll accept that money.
Cody, stick around. We got to finish out fair or foul. If you want to be a part, if you want a chance to score the big game dream party presented by Mel Wrapped and Honda, it's your chance to win a 65-inch television, $2,500 in Lazy Boy furniture, and a $500 gift card to Sprouts Farmers Market. We have got your keyword right here.
Good morning. Welcome back to The Drive. I'm Cody Baylor from The Lowdown. If you want to give us a follow on social media, you can find myself at Cody Baylor. That's Cody with an I. Jason at JasonRoss1140. Damien at Damien Barling. And Chris at Sac_MCFC. Also, check us out on Facebook and search The Lowdown. Jason and Damien, back to you.
All right, Cody. The key word, by the way, for the big game dream party presented by Mel Wrapped and Honda was tackle. You can text that word tackle right now to 441140 and get entered into a chance to win a 65-inch television, $2,500 in Lazy Boy furniture, and a $500 gift card. Your next keyword is coming up at 1:40 and once again at 3:40. Each time you hear a keyword, you text it to 441140. We are live here on KHTK.com and on Sports 1140. I didn't know what song it was.
I didn't either.
I skipped that part every time.
Intro.
I told him I could hit the post on anything. I didn't know what song this was.
Got him.
That was a Mariano Rivera cutter I just threw.
Okay, that was solid thinking right
Brooke
there.
is bad.
That was solid thinking right there. I didn't know what it was. I think my version of this song is edited, cut off, I can't work out to this.
Well, on the album, there's the All of the Lights interlude, and then All the Lights, and that was the interlude attached to the front of the song.
So you cheated.
So on the
'cause
album,
you
it's two
technically
separate.
used two songs.
No.
You cheated.
No.
You cheated.
No, I used the interlude.
You cheated.
Who doesn't like a good interlude?
Interlude.
Yeah.
It's a great word.
Interlude, close cousin of
It
Jiffy
sounds
Lube.
so dirty. Like second cousin?
Twice removed.
Twice removed.
Not at the reunion.
Is that like Jason and John Ross? Jason and Adrian Ross?
Terrence is at the reunion.
Yep.
Jason and Steve Goss. That's a deep cut radio station
deep.
reference.
Everybody downstairs just jumped out of their chair.
Yeah.
Other than that, everyone's like, wait, what?
Yeah, they need an interlude.
So it was like, Steve Goss, who did he play for? Wasn't that the reliever with the weird mustache?
Steve Goss absolutely sounds like the name of a reliever with a bad mustache.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
He's the Raleigh Fingers era. Cody, what's next here on Fair or Foul?
All right. John Gruden absolutely wants to draft Kyler Murray. Fair or foul?
Yes.
I used to think that a lot until I saw Drew Brees twice a year in Tampa. And then I met Russell Wilson coming out of NC State. And now I'm watching this kid Murray at Oklahoma, and I am putting away all the prototypes that I once had. You know, I used to have a prototype for hand size, height, arm length, all that stuff. We're looking for guys that can play and do a lot of different things, and they come in all shapes and sizes nowadays.
He wants it, dude. He wants it.
Did he say height?
All shapes and sizes.
He wants it.
All 5'8".
Yeah.
He wants it.
Maybe Kyler
He
was
wants
the
him
one
some Kyler Murray.
that's been calling Gruden.
Hey,
Guys
they
have
want to
been
play
calling
for the
him.
Oakland Raiders.
Yeah.
Hey.
Or the Raiders,
Yeah.
located to be determined later.
It's not new that John Gruden loves every football player, right?
Not.
That was the whole thing on Monday Night Football. I love this guy. Like,
Correct.
what? This is his first snap all year.
Yeah. But he loves him.
Yeah.
Loves
He
him.
loves quarterback camp. He really just wants to go back to doing quarterback camp and coach in his off time.
Maybe he should.
I don't know who would say no to that here at this point. I say it's fair. I think he's foaming at the mouth for Kyler Murray right now. I don't know that he's going to draft him, but I
Yeah.
think that's fair.
Sure, I believe that too. But again, I don't think the Raiders are going to go that route. But I think that's a very enticing story to speculate on for lots of reasons.
I think if they don't wind up trading one of those 3 picks, I wouldn't be surprised if they use their 3rd first-round pick on Murray if he's still around. Like, they need bodies, but 2 first-round picks, you can afford to take a flyer, especially if they're not confident or Gruden's not confident that Derek Carr is his guy, and they don't trade either of those or any of those first-round picks to move up or down. I could absolutely see him going with Murray in the first round.
I could see him going for quarterback, if not Murray.
Yeah.
Okay. What's next, Cody?
Your general manager is learning on the job. Fair or foul?
Foul.
Which general manager are we?
Who do
referring
you
to?
think?
Well, I mean,
There's a
kind of
couple
working for Sacramento.
Okay, we're not going down that road right
Okay.
now. John Gruden said Mike Mayock is going to learn on the job.
Yeah.
Meaning John Gruden's going to tell him what to do.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
All
that does
season.
not,
Exactly.
like that doesn't
Nailed
feel
it.
like a good thing to me.
Yeah.
Like, he's been around, he'll get a feel, he'll be able to do all this, he'll learn on the job. Like, dude, he's the general manager of a professional football team.
He's just there.
Yeah. Handle the numbers. Handle the stuff I don't want to do.
He's not in charge of the fries at McDowell's.
John Gruden's assistant.
Yes.
What he is going to do,
Assistant
To
to
the
the
assistant.
yes, that's what he is.
what Mike Mayock's going to do is he's going to lock the doors and he's going to get the work.
Yes. Not as deep a cut, but a good cut.
A really good cut.
Yeah.
Cody, is it fair or foul?
Foul.
Okay.
Yeah.
General managers should not be learning on
Right.
the job in the NFL.
Yes.
Cody,
Drew Brees and Phillip Rivers won't play this late in the playoffs again. Fair or foul?
I'll say foul. I think they will. I think it's so impossible to know, but there was probably, after Brees was there the last time, is this his last best chance? Took a couple years and he got back. I know he doesn't have a ton more time, but I would say that we'll see them again.
the Saints have been here 2 years in a row and suffered this just heartache 2 years in a row. I think it's fair.
Yeah.
I think it's fair. I mean, it's tough. There is no sport that has more parity than the
True.
NFL does. I mean, if the Chargers aren't in the playoffs next year, are you surprised?
No.
I mean,
but
just
That would
by
surprise me if they weren't in the playoffs.
but just by the way that the NFL is,
Right.
think about where the Vikings were last year,
Sure.
compared to where they were this year.
Yeah, one
Sorry, Cody,
God,
but
my heart.
you think you look at. I mean, Philadelphia scratched and clawed their way to get back to the playoffs.
But more parity than we've ever had in that sport, yet there's the same team that's back in the Super Bowl.
no, that's just gross. And everybody's mad. Nobody wants this outside of the Northeast.
Who do you think has a better chance, the Saints or the Chargers?
Ooh,
Of getting back?
Cody.
Saints.
Me too.
think the Chargers because
I'm
the
with
AFC
Kyle.
is worse. And the Chargers are just so good. They have so many good players on defense.
Yeah, I was more with that than the AFC being worse. Like I was more with the thought of, look at their team is loaded. I feel like the Chargers are loaded.
They are.
They definitely are.
Tied with the best record, right, in the AFC, but yet we're a wild card. So they've got to crack the code.
They got to be better than
Chiefs.
Kansas City.
Right. Yeah. Now you're playing in a different field, which is just 2 spots for wild card position. That's a dangerous spot to be in.
Cody.
Marvin Bagley.
Bagley.
Gosh, you put this one on purpose.
That's so good.
All right. For y'all that don't know, I can't say bag. Okay,
No, you
Marvin.
can. You just say it differently.
Yeah.
Marvin Bagley should be in the starting lineup moving forward. Fair or foul?
You remember that song, Bombs Over? What was it? Bombs Over?
Barn doors?
It wasn't it.
Bullfights?
Cody, do you remember the song?
I don't remember it.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah.
Marvin Bagley is the he should be in the starting lineup moving forward. I don't even feel like this is a conversation anymore.
Yeah, I'm fair. Totally fine.
He's got that starting job in the big.
Put it in the bag.
Yeah.
All right. We're done for we got one more. One more. Fair or foul. What
Last
do we got?
one. Dave Yeager has punted in meaningful games twice this year. Fair or foul?
Jason?
It feels like he has. I know he would say, and all the players would say, opportunity, chance to prove myself. We saw a chance first time Marvin Bagley started. Maybe that's the time that launched him as a permanent starter. But you're not giving your team the best chance to win. So I would say yes, that's happened. That's fair.
Funny. Kyle?
Yeah, I think it's fair. Punting is a little bit rough, but if you're not going to play your starters, I think you're not expecting to win that game. So I think that's fair.
I think you're understanding the consequence. And I'm not talking about Amon Shumpert and Emmanuel Bielitsa either. I'm talking about one player. If you make the conscious decision to not start De'Aaron Fox, you're understanding, okay, it's going to be really, really difficult for us to win this game. Not going in with, okay, guys, we're taking an L here. But you're thinking back, okay, we lose this game to Toronto. We've got Memphis coming up. We've got to get a win against Memphis. The Clippers are struggling right now. For whatever reasons, the Clippers are kind of falling back to the pack. They're struggling a little bit. That game, and if that's the argument Coach wants to make, it's a fair argument. That Clippers game is a lot more important than the Toronto Raptors game because you essentially gain 2 out of that one, and you've got the Clippers coming here. I think it's later on in February, early in March. We thank you so much for being with us. If you want to catch up on what we did today, you can go to KHTK.com. We had a lot of fun on the live stream. Kyle, you had a lot going on back there. We appreciate all your work.
And he's back later today.
And he's back at 3 o'clock. Make sure you tune in to Kyle Madsen and Charles T. Hamilton for Jason Ross. Cody Baylor, I'm Damian Barling. We'll see you tomorrow at 6 a.m.